What's up, guys? Hey, how we doing? So I did an interview with Uli Stalker, a German Supercross racer. I thought it was going to be more about, his riding in China, the Indian Supercross League, and some of the things he's got going on internationally. Wow, this turned out to be one of the craziest interviews I've ever done. He's been detained by immigration. He's been threatened by MX Sports. This dude has one crazy story, so I strongly recommend you check this one out and just follow it all the way through because we start off a little bit boring, but about halfway through he starts getting into some really good stuff. He was punched out by Loretta Lynn's grandson at Loretta Lynn's. It's wild. It was a pleasure to have Uli on the show, and I hope to have him on again soon. If you guys are having any pain, hit up Nano Extreme. This is a pain cream that it works so good. I use it on my shoulder all the time. I have a bad shoulder that's bone on bone. It hurts all the time. I put this stuff on, no more pain. It's crazy how good it works. I've given it to family members, friends. Everybody has loved it. So if you have pain, head over to Nano Extreme and use code Cooksey at checkout for free shipping. Complete Racing Solutions. And don't forget, guys, we're giving away the Complete Racing Solutions custom painted helmet to a member soon. Probably within a week or two, we're going to do the drawing and we'll pull out somebody. And after that, we'll have another giveaway. But if you're a member, you are automatically entered. So anybody that's joined as a member, you're in. And if you want to have a training program, head over to Complete Racing Solutions. Coach Rob's got something for everybody. It starts at $15 a month. And you guys remember Lightning Rod Energy, the energy drink that's healthy? I love this stuff. You guys sold them out. So many people got it. Use code Cooksey and you get a discount. You guys sold them out of product. We finally got it back. They sent it to me and I couldn't be happier. I've been waiting for this stuff forever. I love it. It's awesome. So check out Lightning Rod Energy. And without further ado, let's get into this.
People like me so you can point your fucking fingers and say, that's the bad guy.
But let me introduce Uli Stoker. Did I say your name right, Uli?
Yeah, almost like Uli Stalker. Yes, you got it, Chris.
Stalker. Okay, I said Stoker.
Yes,
Stalker.
like stalkering the track, like on a stock bike, you got me.
So your arm clearly isn't stock. What happened there, my man?
No, dude, I had like a little incident like in China during the race over there, what Lexan Moto like hosted. And like a guy like had like a little wheel spin coming on like on a step on, step off section. And he kind of like jumped like with his handlebars like on my arm, landed like on it and snapped it off like right behind the wrist on the plateau. And then I had like surgery over there, got like a fixator in and all kinds of stuff. And yeah, here we are.
Okay, so you're like, when I heard your story, I was like, wait a second, you do what for a living? And you do, because I follow Supercross really close, mostly in the United States, but I see some of you European guys. And where are you from? And then when did you start racing?
Oh, dude, like I'm from Germany, like on the south part of Germany, like it calls like Ravensburg, this area. And dude, I started racing when I was 9 years old and grew up through my dad with it. My dad raced like Superbike back in the days and was like a Suzuki factory rider. And yeah, that's how I got into the sport as a really small kid already. Like when I was 4 years old, I started to ride, but racing as a 9-year-old.
You're 9 years old and you had some experience coming over to America. What walk me through kind of how your career developed, because I honestly I couldn't find a ton online to figure out who you were and how you got where you are. How did you go from the 9-year-old to where you are today? Kind of walk me through that in the Cliff Notes version.
In a Cliff Note version, yeah. I grew up like racing like the amateur stuff, like what we got like over here in Germany. And from that on, like I used to race like the ADSC MX Masters, like the stuff what also Jet Lawrence and Ken Roxon and all those guys used to race. And our Jeffrey Herlings and stuff, and went through those ranks, but never been like a podium guy or something like that in that, but always been in it, like riding in it, you know what I mean? So yeah, with that said, after a while, like I kind of like became like a South German 125 champion and then I learned like to become like an AC technician and kind of like stopped this before I had my certification because I thought like, that's not really like what I want to do like in life. And then I started to ride like again, really, and start to do like arena cross stuff like over here in Germany, like small stuff, like built me a track, trained, and then I went to America, kind of like that, just a backpack and a dream, kind of like want to race Supercross, yeah. But never really got it like that far, like always.
You
like
got pretty far.
I got pretty far, like the reach to 40s, 1 or 42, I don't know anymore exactly in Arlington, yeah, but the goal was always 40s, but also like injuries and stuff, like they came between it sometimes, yeah.
So So what year did you start racing arena cross?
Oh, dude, I would say 2014, really 14, 15, something like that. Yeah.
Is that when Tyler Bowers was coming over there winning the championships?
Yes, yes, yes. I think so. I think so. I seen him win a couple times. I think 2 or 3 times. I think he won, or I don't know. I think for Kawasaki.
And how did you do in those arena cross races? How did you fare against Bowers and some of the German guys? And
I was
tell,
always
tell me about those races.
like in the German races, like, dude, I like over here. It's like quite hard, like to get like a start place. First of all, when you're a German guy, they look at you like we don't want to give you a place. We back in the days it was like we rather pay like so much money to the American guys to so on or to the French guys and get them over there and have like let me say a winning guy in my team what they promote because the team over here is like most likely like they have a dealership, so they want to promote like their shop so that the people come there buy bikes, so that's how the business runs. Yeah.
So they want to bring in a ringer rather than hire a German local.
Exactly, exactly. Like that's how it was back in the days, and get like a place was super hard. And even like today, like because I tell them like what I think, like straight up, like yeah, if I see something wrong, like I'm telling you guys, that's not the way how you should handle it because a rule book is a rule book, and if you guys write down a rule book, you should go by your own rules, and not point rules out just for some people and for other people don't. They're not. Working, or for some people, but for some people they do so. And I think like I pointed there some things like out like during my career, and now they don't like me really and don't want me also to race there. And I think it's pretty shitty. Like I had like some incidents like where backyard design had to pay like some money that I could raise like last year, some Supercross like over there here in Germany. So and I think it's pretty shitty. Like, dude, I raced like in America Supercross, or at least try to. So I should at least have a chance, like to race over here in my home country. So yeah,
And so what was the specific reason they wanted to keep you out of the race?
dude, like it's crazy. Like you gotta think, listen to that story. Like over here, like we had COVID. Like COVID was over, and all those tracks got shut down, and so when we had a race close to my house, so I thought like, dude, come on, let me hit up this race, and it was like a local race, and they tell you usually with the A license you cannot race this race, whatever. So, but they had a clause with 5 people with the A license can race this race because our federation is not so behind our sport that they want to make like more classes or so where the sport could develop better. Let me say you have one level of riders, and then you have like the next level of racing series is over here. So the gap between it is super hard, and they don't make nothing between it. So that's why they came up with this rule, like 5 people with the A license can also come to our regional stuff and race. So I made use of it. So, and because I race in French Supercross, I have a French license under a French federation. So, but I have also like a card, what allows me to race like in a different country. So it's like allowance so that they let you race in other countries. So with this card extra on top, I can race. So I showed up at the race, signed up, made all the technical control paperwork, everything done, went to the first practice and get black flagged. I'm like, what the hell? What's wrong? And they tell me like, dude, you got to come back to the race office. I'm like, why? Like, what's going on? Like, there's an issue with your license. I'm like, what kind of issue? Like, I got a license. Everything's cool. So, and then they told me like, I cannot race with this license because it's a French license and I need a German license. I said, guys, like, this is not possible. You're the race director. Just because it's a German race, it don't mean like I need a German license. Like, and just because I'm a German, that just don't matter. So, and then I explained him that, and I told him he's the race director. He should know better. And I cannot race under 2 federations because I need a release from the other federation to get a new license, let me say, like a German one there. And he told me, oh, I can get a race day card, like a German race license for 1 day. So I told him, no, I ain't going to do that. And I think like that's kind of like a mafia kind of structure because I already paid like 1,500 for my kind of like license. And I don't see a reason to get a new one. And he told me then, I think you do drugs. And I'm like, what? Now it's getting some personal, like in a personal area, you mix it up. I said, if you think I do drugs, why you don't make a use from your doping test? Why you don't let me race, make a use of a doping test, then you don't got to claim it, then you maybe really know it or you don't know it if I do it or not. And he just got mad and was like, dude, this is my property. I make you leave or I call the cops now. I'm like, all right, all right. And this guy, this race director, he's like, for the German Supercross, like one of the main guys. And so he's making sure I don't race, you know? Yeah, with a couple other people.
So yeah, it's obvious they just didn't want you, because first they said it's a
Exactly.
license, and then they said
Exactly.
it's drugs. Like, you got to pick a lane, and like you got to find a reason. You can't just blanket this. And you said something earlier about the rules not being set, and I've literally had this conversation with the AMA and Davey Coombs, and they call their rules guidelines, which is the most ridiculous thing in the world. Why would you even put it down if it's guideline?
Exactly. Then we can all just do what we want to do. Like, I mean, it's the same like with like dirty riding. I know like you're a Vince Freeze fan and so, but it's the same with dirty riding. Like where we start and where do we stop? Like it's just a guideline, you know. At one time it's okay. Like when Barsha comes in and just slams the guy like into the stands almost, you know. And at the other race, when some other guy just doing it, like he just get almost like docked 5 positions for it, you know. It's like where do we start and where do we stop? I don't know. Like, and who do we hold accountable and who we don't? I think it's just unfair sometimes. And I mean, I texted those guys also like on social media, like platforms, and so then they tell me, oh, dude, it's just on the teams. The teams they make like the decision who's gonna race. I'm like, I clearly have emails like it's not like the case because like you don't let me come, and I have teams like requesting me, not one, especially 2 or 3, you know. So it's every year like that, and I have every year this drama. So it's like, is it me or is it whatsoever? But I know it's me, you know. But I don't know the problem. I never done them something wrong. I just pointed their guidelines out, like you say, you know. So and if they have a problem with this, I don't know. Like I don't get it, you know.
Yeah, I guess I'm confused. I don't understand why they wouldn't want somebody. You're pretty popular in Germany. When I said I was going to interview, I had a bunch of people reach out and say, "Oh, we're stoked about the stalker." I'm sorry, I keep wanting to say Stoker, the stalker interview. And yeah, I don't know, man. Did you have a personal incident? Did you sleep with his girlfriend? Like, what happened, Dooley?
Dude, like that's almost how it feels like for me. Exactly, that's almost how it feels like for me. No, there was never something personal going on, so that's why I don't know what's going on, dude. I maybe sometimes have some mischiefs here and there back in the days because when I learned like my job and so I never took racing like that serious. You know, I used to go out with my friends partying it hard. You know, so like that's how I seen it because I didn't make money with racing like at all. You know, I make my money with working, so it was like just still a hobby, you know, by the side. But there was always a chance to make maybe some more out of it, you know. But it was never like this close to be like a factory rider where you know like you can live off it. You know, that's like just from the 1% like who maybe make it close to it, like 0.01 people who make really like this living, you know. So you really got to see that too. Yeah, that most people they walk blind into this dream and be like, "Oh, dude, you got all kinds of money, you could make it." No, dude, this is way more like what plays a role into becoming a guy like a top guy like this. You know, you have really got to have like the right circle around you. Like everything gotta be perfect for that. You know.
Well, I
So
hate
I
to
think
ask this, but I have to ask. So he mentioned drugs. Now, drugs are very prominent in our sport. Was he talking about performance enhancing drugs? Was he talking about recreational drugs? And have you
no,
ever
he
had any issues? Because listen, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, like, is there a history there that he was going after?
Yeah, I mean, like there could be definitely like from talking like a history from back in the days, like from the partying and so, but there was never like a video or like let me say like an addiction behind it, you know? Like I would say we all tried something out here and there, whatever, but there was never something like on the motocross guy involved, you know, maybe some moto guys, but dude, I mean, we all know, like we got some stories on the after race parties or
Yeah.
whatsoever, you know. I mean, yeah, but we all keep our mouth shut. That's actually what's really going on, so that it don't comes to the public, you know. So yeah, but I don't know. I think more likely it's the weed, you know. But I don't see a problem with it. It's like legal over here, so I have no problem with that saying it right here as well. So, but he never seen me doing it, so I don't know why you point fingers at me doing it, you know.
Yeah. So unless you've ever been caught racing high or busted for
Never been.
trafficking, I don't understand how he could say that. That seems a bit slanderous. And I don't know the German laws or anything, but it seems like if he uses that and there's no evidence of that, do you have any legal recourse in Germany?
What do you mean with legal recourse?
Like, can you take them to court and say like, why are you discriminating against me, or is that not something you
I
guys
don't
do in
know if I
Germany?
could do that, but like I think even like it's not worth like in my eyes, you know. Like I think like at this kind of part of life where I'm at, I'm just want to step like a step over him and over those guys and think like it is what it is, you know. Like I ain't want to beg and beg and beg and beg and beg for it, you know. Like I'm tired
Yeah.
of it.
Okay, well let's move
All
past
right.
that. You make money traveling all over, spreading the word about Supercross. You were in Hong Kong, Thailand. Like, tell me how did that come about? Do you do all right doing that?
Yes, dude. Like, China came about like through India. I got like some contacts in India racing the Indian Supercross, like in the beginning of this year, and like I got there the contact through Ben Hallgreen. Like, he knew the guys from Lexan Moto, and then I got in touch with those guys and went and did this off race over there, and it was pretty cool. Yeah, and I love to do at the moment what I'm doing. Like, it's actually like a blessing. Like that this German knucklehead treats me like he treats because of this reason I look for other opportunities, and especially I get paid for it traveling the world, and that's better than like sitting in your home country and always seeing the same over and over and over again, you know. So I mean, what's better than like getting paid and riding your dirt bike all over the world, you know?
Yeah, and I'm fascinated by this Chinese thing. Are they big? Like, was it a big crowd? Like, are they wanting to bring Supercross in? Like, tell me about
Dude,
that.
yeah, dude, they want to grow the motocross sport in general, like in China, because you gotta see, like in the Asian like world, like I seen like you've been also to Thailand also, like you also maybe seen like the difference to like the Western society. They drive so much with those scooters and like mopeds and motorbikes around, like the like let me say like the two-wheel market. It's like it has a lot of potential. It could grow a lot. Like that's especially what's going on over there. And like a couple people recognize this, I guess so, and they really want to grow the sport now, also in China, and don't have just Chinese bikes. Also bring the other brands in, like from the Japanese guys, you know, like we have them, you know. And now like those guys from Lexan, they kind of like really make a sick event. Like there was a lot of people, good crowd, like, and we got treated like so nicely. Like it was amazing. Like I really gotta say that. Yeah, like for all the other people, like if you got a chance to go to China, do an event like this, really take the opportunity with both full hands and go do it. That's what I
Yeah.
would say.
And I think the scariest thing for a lot of riders racing abroad is what happens if you get hurt. But I know for a fact how they treated you. Like, they literally flew in this like prestigious surgeon and they took the highest care of you. You probably wouldn't have got that if you got hurt in Germany, right?
No, definitely not, dude. Definitely not. And we really got here kind of like a good health system, but they will never ever treated me like that. It's like you walk in an American hospital and you'll be a nobody for them. You know, you just be a number and that's it. Like just a normal stranger. That's how it would be for me over here too. Just if I maybe go to my local doctor, yeah, he knows me, you know, but then he maybe makes something happen that I can see a doctor quicker or whatever, like a specialist, you know. But usually, no, like it wouldn't go like away like it went in China. I got treated there like amazing. Like really, I gotta say also there, thank you to those guys again, especially to that surgeon and that team. That was amazing.
So it was funny you were talking about the scooters, and that's what I noticed in Thailand. So many people riding scooters, five deep on a scooter. They are all over the place. And I was like, man, these kids growing up on two wheels like this, there's got to be some hidden talent in there that could probably be the next Jet Lawrence, but they've just never got the opportunity. Like,
Exactly. Something in our sport that we should make it more available for like the general public. Like that's I thought a bunch of times about this, exactly like what you just said. Yeah. Like there's so much hidden talent in that stuff, like in those kids or in the public in general, you know?
and I have to think these scooter companies in Asia and that they have to be selling a crap ton of scooters. So they got some money to spend if they want to go out and promote. So maybe, are they looking at like finding a scooter brand to sponsor a team, or are they looking at developing their own motorcycles? Do you know what they're doing?
I don't know about this actually, Chris. I really have no idea. No, I really
That's
don't
all
have
right.
no
I'm just
idea.
these are things that I thought of when I was over there. I'm like, man, there is an untapped market here, and I think the people would love it. And I don't know, it just seems like something, and I love that you're tapping into it and continuing your racing career by traveling all over. but you spent some time in America. Tell me about your time in America.
Oh man, my time in America was a blessing. I wish like I could go back. I'm telling you, dude, and didn't have this overstay. Oh, my time in America, dude. I started like in November 2016. I came over like to a German lady. Like she lived like in Oldsmar in Florida, like close to Tampa. And like she didn't have nothing to do with motocross. And so like I just knew her over my tattoo artist here in Germany. He connected me with her, and from there on I started my trip like with a backpack, kind of like bought me a bike over there, like a used one, a used Suzuki, and like showed with this bike up like in Atlanta then for the Supercross race. And yeah, I lived with her like for like 2 months or so, I would say, and didn't found actually like really a place where I could go for practicing Supercross. What was really kind of like in my price range, what is affordable for me. So I really thought like, dude, what am I doing over here? I came over here just have a 3 month kind of like window where I could start riding and so, and now I'm here and be 2 months here already and didn't know what to do. So I started to hit up like riders on Instagram and stuff like that. And then B Mazy, he responded me and he told me like, dude, go like over there to Georgia, train over there. Like they have some facilities. That's how it works, and that's how I done it then in the beginning. And then I went like to a family, lived with them like in Alabama for like a year, and he became like my mechanic, like, and went racing like with me. And like then I used to stay like a lot like in Sand Mountain, like in Alabama. Yeah, shout out to Billy also over here, like as well. Like he was amazing. He took also care of me, like let me practice for free, gave me like a grown-up arena cross track on the other side of his facility, let me rebuild it and use it for me, like that was pretty good as well. And then like when it came always to the winter time, I used to go like to Club MX or south of the border to practice. Yeah, that's how I done it, and rocked it with my van. Yeah, like with Mason Care, Stank Dog, and all those guys.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool that you got to live the dream for a little while. And I'm sure you didn't make any money because there's not much money that's paid at these races. So how did you survive while you were over here?
Oh, how did I survive? All kinds of ways, dude. Like I used to clean pools in the very first beginning when I broke my foot, and then I used to train kids in Sand Mountain a lot. And yeah, used to work like with a guy who like really like carelessly stole like or heartlessly stole like my bike like when I got deported from America. Yeah, like I told him like because he signed my tag, I told him like, dude, in case I get deported one day or so, I spent your daughter in my van. But like this guy, he also like sold my bike and everything, and I was like, dude, what the fuck? I don't want to slander now him with names whatsoever, but yeah, I experienced the full kind of everything in America.
And did you race? I know you went to Loretta Lynn's and you had an interesting experience with my friend over there, Miss Carrie Coombs. Tell me
Yeah,
tell me
where do
what you
you
were
know
doing at
about that story?
tell me what you were doing at Loretta's and share with me what you can about your interaction with that crazy fucking lady.
Yeah, she is really freaking crazy. Like I don't know, she has in my eyes nothing to do on a sport like this, like especially when you want to be like Miss Burns lady or something like that, like if you just see money in your eyes or dollar signs, like that's how I thought like she's acting in my eyes. But yeah, what I'd done over there was like I was especially like trainer for this kid, for this specific kid who the dad in the end stole my bike from me. And yeah, I was trainer for her. And yeah, on the race day, like in the evening, we was like in a party tent, and the grandson of like Miss Lynn, like Anthony Lynn, like he freaking hit me like in my mouth because I flirted like with a lady like in the tent, and he kind of like had his eyes on her, but he had a girlfriend, and I knew about that from that lady, so I didn't care about it. So I kept flirting with her, and then he kind of like just straight up hit me like in my face, and some other people kind of like tried to disconnect the fight because I was injured with my leg as well. So and like he busted out my teeth, and everything was on video that he started a fight and everything, and other people like told me like, dude, you just should go like in the race office in the next morning and should tell them that's not how it works, and you should at least should get your teeth paid, like because he first hit you and he shouldn't hit you at all, because first of all the lady don't want to flirt clearly with him because she says it. And yeah, that's how it went then down. And then I went to the office in the next morning, and then they threatened me if I don't stop like doing this or with these accusations again against Anthony, so they make sure I'm never gonna step 1 foot again in a Supercross stadium or whatever if I want to keep racing Supercross and so. And I was like, okay, that's how we're gonna play now over here or what. And then I really like kept my mouth shut, so I was like, dude, okay, shit, what we gonna do? And then like after a while, like I told Anthony, like in this room, like I don't think like it's good, like what you do. You know, you was clearly on drugs on this night, and then he told me like when the room was closed, like he was on ecstasy. So I'm sorry, and I'm like, dude, on ecstasy, you actually used to be lovely, you know, but I don't know why you went like this on me, you know? And when I was in the office, like the Coombs lady, like she told me like if I wanna keep racing Supercross, I better keep my mouth shut and everything because like they don't want this coming out, like that the grandson like from Miss Lynn does do something like this, you know, it's not like fair thing, especially like when you're hurt, you know, that you hit people, you know, who have like a foot in the cast or whatever, like and busting the teeth out. And I kind of like asked like for just for the doctor bill, you know, but they didn't want to do that and told me like I just should stop right here if I want to keep racing. Yeah.
So you're there with a broken foot. The
Yes.
grandson of Loretta Lynn pops you in the mouth for flirting with a girl, even though he has a girlfriend, but he's trying to
Exactly.
cheat on his girlfriend.
Exactly.
And then all you want is because this dude popped you while you're sitting there, you want your teeth paid for, and then they extort you and tell you not only does it have anything to do with this event, but if you do this, you'll be banned from all American races. Oh my God,
Yeah.
that is the people we're
Exactly.
dealing with, Uli. In a nutshell, that is the scumbags we're dealing with.
And it's the same kind of scumbags over here. It's the same kind of like attitude what they have over here. And then they want to spin a narrative also on us around like on us riders. Oh, dude, we don't make no money. So that's then the question what I throw here out again. So why you keep doing those races? So why you keep doing it? So, but those motherfuckers, they sorry for my language, but those guys, they know exactly what they're doing with. They play with love and passion. They knew exactly our dads and our moms. They put so much money in this kind of like sport and now we reached a kind of like a point where we are like now if we have to pay for it then we can kind of like just experience this kind of dream we will still do it we will still pay for it and those promoters they know it that's why they kind of like use this for their benefit and I mean, like, we all riders are so stupid. We should make like a riders union, but long as like the big companies don't do it, like the factories don't do it, like nothing's gonna change because then it's one stupid knucklehead again who's gonna stand up and it's like, hey, here I am, I want to race. And then the other guy is like again, oh, okay, me too. Now we have already two idiots again who want to go for the championship for free, you know? So that's how it is usually.
Man,
But
I'm
we
sorry.
are
I'm just blown away that you got punched by Loretta Lynn's grandson. That's actually kind of funny.
yeah, still got the teeth right here sticking out like right there.
Oh man, that is funny stuff. And then, but
Still sure.
man, the extortion. And so how? So okay, so you're not even racing. You're there as a coach. What did she
Yes.
justify telling you you'll never race again? How did she say that? Because it really one shouldn't affect the other. Like you're not even at an AMA event, or like you're not at
Yeah.
an AMA Pro event. I don't understand how that could affect it.
Exactly. I also didn't got this, you know, but like I knew like they're like with the AMA. So and I thought like okay, so they have some sayings. So and I better keep my mouth shut. I didn't know what to do, you know. I thought like at one point I was like kind of like in a gray zone with my visa then. It was especially in this point also like and I thought like dude if I have some trouble or so I get sent home and then I probably cannot come back right now. So or just with some bunch of effort and a bunch of money. So and I was like, I gotta keep the ball rolling long as like I can and just or ride the wave long as like I can ride the wave. So, you know, and that's when I keep my mouth shut and stop like going against those guys. I got like intimidated. So I thought like also when I hear the story about Brendan Schofield, man, like I was like a 26-year-old guy. And when people like that are with you in a room, like and they all stand over you and sit you down in a corner and put you down on a chair, dude, you for sure feel like a little bit intimidated, for sure. Especially when you see like, oh, that's your dream, what you want to do, and they try to threaten you and take this away from you just because somebody who is really not in the right done you unrightful thing to you, and they still back him up just because he got all kinds of money and runs the show over here, kind of like, you know, and even pays the police. That's like how it went down. Like even the cops, like there was like they just waited for him to say like, yeah, take him to jail for the day or whatever. It was crazy. Like it was clearly like he even paid the cops on this event, and they do what he's gonna say, what they're gonna do, what they have to do. Like, and then they banned me on all kinds of social events and so on. And Loretta Lynn's, I could only go like when she had the motor. Like I only could go for the motor up on the stage. Could walk like in the pits around and besides this, I should sit like on our area, and that's it. And then he catched me like at the pit bike race, went all crazy. Like, if I do this one more time, blah 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 blah, you're gonna kick me out. And then I had like one more talking with him, and he told me like, oh, next year if you come back, whatever whatsoever, like then he's gonna pay me a beer like every day. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take your deal. So I came back the year after, and then he paid me actually like a beer, like as a sorry, but only one time. I was like, dude, one beer for a chipped fucking teeth? Are you fucking crazy? He told me actually like you pay every day a beer for me. So that's at least the thing what you can do, you know. But he didn't done that. But is what it is. He's a knucklehead, you know. So what you want to say about people like that?
I mean, I get it. I get it that he's a knucklehead, rich kid that gets everything he wants. But where I have a real problem is them protecting him like the mob. And for those people that what you were talking about is the Brennan Schofield, that was the Deegan bike claim incident when they put him in that room. And that's the room you were talking about when you're 26 years old and they sit you down and they threaten you with all that stuff like, oh, we'll take your career. We have so much power. I can't imagine how that feels, but yeah, that's what they do. And they've gotten away with it for so long. And that's where they've done stuff to me. They sent the FBI to my house. They're banning me from events. They're sending cops after me.
It's ridiculous.
I'm not going anywhere.
Exactly.
And I'm going to keep saying what I want.
Exactly, because like you have the freedom of speech, and especially as an American citizen, yeah, you can proudly say that.
Yeah, they can't take my visa.
Yeah, exactly. They can't take your visa. No, they can't take your citizenship.
I'm going to take a quick break here and let you guys know about Epic Garage Designs. Travis is a motocross enthusiast who has some of the coolest garage, cabinets, flooring, slat wall, and he's got toolboxes coming soon. So check out epicgaragedesigns.com. Ride Strapped. They've got the coolest t-shirts, goggles, glasses, just a really cool company that Chris is a great guy and he really believes in helping this sport grow from a grassroots level. Ridestrap.com. If you're shipping anything, use Precision Transport. Shipping companies suck. They have horrible customer service. Usually the tracking sucks. Not with Precision Transport. Precision Transport, they are a family-owned business that believes in good pricing and customer service, and they are getting it done. So if you need to ship anything, use Precision Transport. That's pretransport.com. All right, let's get back into the Uli interview. Okay, so now when you finish America, when you left here, what, 2018?
And 19, like Halloween 19, yeah, kind of like was a bad kind of like ending, was a kind of like a deportation. It was a deportation, but on the paper it wasn't a deportation, you know. Yeah, it was kind of like a sad story, like in my eyes, because like I really was completely full in the prep mode for the upcoming Supercross years and was like fitter than ever. Yeah, and then I went back home and started to practice like in Spain for the upcoming motocross series over here, and signed like with KMP Honda. Like it's like a big German motocross team over here. And then COVID hit, and then everything calmed down a little bit. And I have over here a motocross track, and I used to run this like during COVID, like publicly, like a lot. So, and with this, I kind of like survived during COVID, yeah. And then when COVID like stopped, I just tried to look out for like racing just Supercross events, or like they called over here Supercross events, but they're actually like arena cross events, you know. So I used to race them over here, then everywhere where we can find them, like in Italy, France, and so on.
Let's go back to the deportation. How did they deport you? What'd they say? Did that have anything to do with the Loretta Lynn's incident?
No, dude, that had nothing to do with that. Like I had like a $100 bill, like a fake $100 bill coming to me, try to pay with it, like did pay actually with it, came in the same store like 2 months later. And the lady was like, oh, dude, you owe me money. I was like, what you mean, lady? Like, what? I owe you money. And she's like, oh, you paid me with a fake $100 bill. I'm like, what? Like, what? And she's like, showed me the $100 bill, the fake bill. I'm like, where do you see like it's fake? And she's like, showed it out to me. It's like motion purpose only, like written onto the bill. I'm like, what the like I didn't know, like it came like in, like how I would say, like in the trade, you know, like to me, I didn't know, like I didn't really know at all. So, and like then she called the cops on me, and I was like, lady, in the car, I got like all kinds of money, like I can pay you back, no problem. And so, and then the cops, they came, then they checked my visa, and yeah, like, and from that point on, they was like, oh dude, you shouldn't even be here. Like, and that cop kind of like, he really took it serious. And he was like, he even like, because police in America and Homeland Security, they are not really like connected with each other whatsoever. Like and like he had to make like a private phone call at Homeland Security to get my ass out of there. Like that's how much like kind of I should say like he's racist, you know, in my eyes. Like that's our, you know what I mean? Like that's how kind of like how much he wanted to have me out of his country, you know. So that's what kind of like his cards he played. Not really the fair ones, but yeah.
You just somehow came across the fake hundred. Somebody paid you with the fake $100 bill, and then you passed it
Yeah,
on, and then got
yeah,
out.
exactly. Yeah, and then I came to a county jail, and like in the county jail, like I had to wait like 2 days or so, like for court, and then in court, like the judge, he told me like I get like $100 fine for it because I didn't know, and he believes me and everything, so it's no problem. I never had a problem over here in America whatsoever. He was like, but you have one problem. You got an ICE security hold whatsoever from Homeland Security because of this guy. So and I was like, okay, so they have 48 hours to come and pick you up. So now we put you back in jail, and if the 48 hours go by and they don't come and pick you, like you're a free man. You can go out here and everything is fine. You pay the $100 and everything is good. That's all what he can say right now to me. So then they put me back into the jail, and in jail, like it went like 30 something hour by or so, and then like the Homeland Security guys, they came picked me up with a couple other guys. Then it went to like Birmingham, Alabama, in kind of like a FBI office. Then they made all kinds of scan checks on you, and so that was kind of like crazy. And then everybody got their paperwork but me. And then I sit there, everybody left after a while, and I sit there for hours. And then a supervisor so from Homeland Security came to me and was like, dude, we have a big issue. Like you came in on kind of like a ESTA visa and you're a German citizen. So in America and Germany, they're pretty close and they work pretty close together. And they said they never really had kind of like a case like this. And because I have rights, because I came under this visa, they have to make sure they need to keep my rights, kind of like that they don't break my rights. So they have to send me now back to a real prison and not to the real little jail. And in the next morning, they come and pick me up because they have this 48 hours and they got to keep those 48 hours. Like, then they bring me really early, like to the station again and finish my paperwork. So I'm like in big prison, first time, super intimidated. I think like, what is here going on? Don't want to be here. I'm not a criminal, you know, it's just a little paperwork. And I pray like that I get picked up in the morning, you know, so nothing like happens. I don't get picked up on the first day. Second day, I don't get picked up. I'm like, okay, so what's going on? And then I started to read this paperwork and really like dig into it. And I figured out like, dude, like actually what they do here at the moment is illegal. So I went like to the CEO, like to the officer in there, and told him like, dude, you better like make your body cam on and get a supervisor over here because like you guys clearly hold me hostage, like against my will, like it's like kidnapping what you guys do over here. If you really see it rightly, like you should release me right now. And then there was like, okay, like we get a supervisor here. Then it went like a couple of hours by. Then they brought me in the back room and I seen like all kinds of cameras from 60 days in and so on. I'm like, what the is going on? Where am I? I'm like, dude, is it a dream or what's going on? Because I used to watch the show 60 days in, you know? So I'm like, what the hell? So then they brought me to a man like who runs kind of like the jail or something like that. And he just asked me, Mr. Stocker, you got money? I'm like, yeah. Why? He's like, yeah, then you call your friends out there and tell them like you want to leave, you pay your own flight. And they sent me an email like with the flight schedule and everything, and you go on Tuesday. So and then I done this and paid my own flight out there. So that's when it don't count it as a deportation. So and that's when they make clear like, dude, you can't come back. So and then I tried like over here like with a couple thousand US dollars to get visas, but they never give me the visas. They always say like, dude, you denied some rules in our country. You're denied. And that guy who denies always my visa request, he shouldn't even deny my request because I pay extra money that I see another officer and this guy makes the decision and he's a way higher up guy. But this first guy, he never let me even come to the next guy, even if I pay for the next guy. So that's kind of like also my situation with why I don't come back to America, because I would love to still race over there, even if it's just arena cross or some supercross races here and there.
Wow. Holy crap, dude. I can't believe that you went through that. You were literally detained by ICE. So
Yes.
if you didn't have the money to pay your own flight, what would have happened? Would they have deported you or would you just stay in jail?
Yeah, I would have sit then like in jail. That would have been my next option. You Like if you have the money to bail you out kind of like there on kind of like this ways and they give you this chance, it's okay, then you can go. But if not, you wait like for it calls an immigration judge. And this waiting time was like up to 2 to 3 years at this point. So people sit there like, well, what's so how long in there? You know what I mean? And I'm seeing in there doctors and all kinds of people in there. Like it's not like there's some criminals who really get deported. It's really like people from all kinds of level in or from any kind of like society in life. You know what you mean? Like you meet like high society, you meet like the lower ones or whatsoever. People from everywhere, from all kinds of levels you meet in there. Doctors, surgeons, everything. Really, like it's crazy. It's
Wow,
sad.
dude,
Like,
I am like mind blown. Wow.
it's sad. Like when you see or hear some stories like in there, like it actually like makes you sometimes think about like being like a Democrat like that, you know, about like those ways that you want to keep your culture and stuff like this so small. But I see like what it does also to us here in Germany and so like or in Europe, we have open borders and everything. We have those problems with the immigration right now. So I see what it really does. I know you guys have a little bit of a problem as well at the moment. So I understand this side, but I also now understand the other side because, dude, I mean, if you have as a father a kid or so in America, but you're like foreign from another country, but your son is born in America, but you get deported. I mean, this must feel really, it must feel sick, like that your family gets torn apart, you know, just because of a piece of a paperwork. And I mean, all our blood is all red. Like in the end of the day, yeah, some people have different believing here and there, but they should be there in their kind of areas, you know. Like I mean, I'm a Christian, so I should have all kinds of right, like to live like in a Western society. That's what I believe, you know.
The biggest issue I have with it is okay, I don't have a problem with them, deporting or whatever, but if you can't pay for your own ticket to keep you in jail for 2 or 3 years in a holding, that is just beyond appalling to me. I'm like, you can't do that. That's 2 or 3 years of someone's life.
Think about it. They make money on you, Chris. They make money on you. Your system make money on those people in jail. So that's why they keep them so long in there. That's the honest reason why they make money on those people. It's sad, actually. It's really sad if you think about this. It's someone's life who you really mess with. Like in other countries, like if you have a deportation case, as though they look really like that you go in the next airplane and you go. You know, I mean, that's
You
how
think
it
they
should
do it?
be.
You think they do it because of privatized prisons where they pay?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay, we'll move on past that. We've probably already lost a lot of people. I've
That's
never met
fast.
anyone who's been detained by ICE like that, so I just had to hear it.
You don't want to know more about that. I'm telling you.
No,
I'm telling you.
dude, yeah, one day, yeah, I'm just blown away. So now you're back in Germany. How do you get things back on track, and what makes you decide to keep racing, or were you about done then?
What? Oh, dude, that's a good question. That's a good question. I just knew like when I was like over there in this freaking cell, like I ain't want to stop, and I was actually hurt in that time. Like I had like a shoulder injury, like that was the craziest part also. Like on this day when they put me into jail, like in the morning, like I was on the way to get surgery, like in the hospital on my left shoulder. Like and I was like, no way, I cannot move my arm, I cannot do nothing. I was sitting there in there like for 3 weeks or 4 weeks, I don't know anymore, something like that, till I got deported, and then I had to first make physiotherapy and everything here over here in Germany, and yeah, went into Spain with Stephen Clark and trained and there my ass off, yeah, for the upcoming season, but the season never happened.
Yeah. So okay, so you get back to Germany and you decide. Now, I can't imagine you have a whole lot at this point.
No, I didn't have nothing. I had all my clothing. I had everything over there in America, like, and they're still over there. But now at the moment they're safe. They're not anymore at a knucklehead's house who will sell everything like for a little dime, you know, and will sell a friendship. Like, I mean, I think a friendship goes longer ways, you know, than a couple $1,000s, you know. But some people they just see a quick buck, you know.
So how did you get back into racing after you got back to Germany?
Yeah, straight up. Like after into racing, like I really didn't. I just raced in Germany now 2 races exactly, like 2 times Stuttgart. Yeah, yeah, 2 times Stuttgart since then. Like because COVID hit, like it was like for 2 years COVID, and then yes, just Stuttgart 2 times, and everywhere else I just raced like at the moment like in French and in Italy and all those other countries like China, India, and all that. Like in India that was pretty sick as well. I would love to
Yeah.
go there back. Yeah, definitely. They do a
So
great job over there to get our sport like also over there known.
yeah, so you got the broken arm. How's it doing, and what are your plans when that heals up? What are you going to keep this international thing going? What's next for you?
What's next for me? That's a good question, Chris. Right now, I'm really like thinking about what's next. Also, like because I would say my decision is like on my healing process. Like it hangs on my healing process. Depends how fast my arm's gonna heal. Like if my arm heals now a little bit faster so that I could race the first round of the Thai motocross championship, I would love to go over there and race the Thai championship, and it starts like on the 9th February. But for right now, I don't know if that is possible. And if I cannot make it like in this kind of time window, I think like I'm just gonna move now up to the 450 class and gonna race the French Supercross series, the SX tour over there for next year. I think so, and take any opportunity what I can get to race any off race in some other countries.
Man, that's awesome. You live a crazy life. Now, do you spend a lot of time in Thailand?
Oh, dude, I was like over there right now, like 5 weeks for recovering right after China, and between the races in India, I went over there as well. Yes, but I love it over there. It's cool.
Do you
Definitely.
know
People are so
do you,
lovely and relaxed.
do you know the Giles family?
No, I don't.
Oh, Brian Giles, and yeah, they race the Indian Supercross League also. That's who I met when I was there. They have a facility in Thailand, and they were looking at possibly making it into like a training facility for European riders. I was like, dude, you totally should. It's so sick. But
I maybe know who you talk about. I maybe know who you talk about. It can be he was like in China as well. I think so.
I think so. Yeah, he might have. They're all over. It's a weird deal. They're also dealing with some crazy political stuff where the Thai Federation has banned them because his son is only half Thai. It's disgusting what's happening to him, and it just sucks. They just want to go racing, but yeah, I mean every it's crazy how everywhere has these different organizations that manipulate. But I mean, I guess it's the way it is.
Yeah, I guess so. Like if some people get like if the wrong people, like that's why I say some people get like some high authority or so they misuse their place. Like that's how it seems like these days. But it's sad. Like, it's really sad.
Yeah, and it's tough to be a race promoter. I mean, everybody's mad. It is hard to make money, but when you finally do, you can't abuse that power. And yeah, it's an interesting spot.
Yeah, they
But
should
man,
find like a middle level. Like they should find a better level. I don't say also like they shouldn't make no money. Like I mean, they make it also because they need to make some money as well. They need to feed their fill their fridge as well. Like you and me, like we riders should also fill our fridge. So and it should be fair. Like even like the lastest guy, like in a show, like in a night show whatsoever, in a Supercross race, he should be able to a minimum afford like his apartment, a car, and like going to training or whatsoever, like or that he can pay his own food. But I know the most kind of privateers, they have to ask their parents, and they struggle like crazy, or their girlfriend have to even chip money into the program, or their times. So that's kind of crazy. Yeah.
yeah, I've always said if you can't make a night show, I'm okay with you not getting paid. But if you make the night show where people buy the tickets to go, and I mean, then the ticket prices out here have gone way up, and they're making a lot of money, and they're about to do that giant TV deal, which could be worth 200 million. But there's a big issue with that right now is with KTM's problems. If KTM can't get that figured out and they lose those teams, there goes the product. That $200 million TV deal becomes a lot less valuable. If they had just paid back and made these teams a little bit more solid, we wouldn't have that issue. But I'm about to do a whole video on that.
Yeah, there should go a lot of money, like from this kind of like deal. What you said with the TV deal was a 200 million. This kind of money should get split up, and they should at least put what those teams at the moment like make at them. No, not make, like what they invest into the sport right now. They at least should pay the teams like at the moment like this money what they pay out, like what they need to spend right now, and then the teams can go ahead instead of like having like a zero thing, like a write-off, kind of like they can go ahead and take this money what they invest anyways already, they can invest this in other kinds of riders, and those riders are maybe those privateers, so it's a win-win situation for everybody. But I don't see why they don't see it, and why they don't want to do that in this kind of way.
Listen,
I don't think
I
like
don't
those
see
guys
it
should get
either.
paid like a rock star, like a jet or whatsoever. But everybody should be able to make a living out of it, you know?
If you're good enough to make a night show and we're paying that much money to go watch you race and it's on TV and they're selling TV contracts and getting gambling deals, you should get a piece. And because we're
Exactly.
not, it's a weird deal, and I don't know. Everybody's so scared. It's like the thing where they told you, Uli, where they're like, "Hey, if you do this, we're going to ban you." Everybody's so worried to speak up because they don't want to have what happened to me happen to them, so nobody will say anything. Meanwhile, they're robbing them blind, and I just think everyone needs to speak up, and the team managers and the team owners are the ones that need to. And I think this whole KTM collapsing deal is an eye-opening to the promoters, to everybody, like how fragile the business model they've set up is. And the one that I want to do is where, like, if you just gave them 40% of that TV money, it would cover their expenses. So even if KTM has big problems, the team wouldn't go away. They'd be able to they'd be hurting, but they'd have to just go get another sponsor and they wouldn't fold. Right now, there's a chance we lose Team KTM halfway through the Supercross series. How horrible would that be?
Oh, imagine that. Like this will change a lot in our sport, I think. So imagine like how much KTM only like I'm not actually like a KTM guy, but like imagine just like or think about what KTM does for like the youth, you know, like for all the little generation kids. Like they have those e-bikes, they have anything what you can imagine, even like little strider bikes whatsoever up to the E50s or the 50 two strokes, like they have the whole model. Tell me one other brand who really have it like those guys, like nobody else. So like what we do then else, like does Honda or anybody step now into the game and they make now 50s, or Suzuki now finally come back into the game and do something new, or like what we're gonna do then from that point? It really can't be like that we're gonna lose them. You're really right. I mean,
Yeah, and I
I
don't think
maybe
we'll
don't see it
actually.
coming, I maybe don't see it coming, but it could be, you know, like definitely.
Well, I don't think we're going to lose them. What will happen is they'll break it up, they'll sell it off into pieces, but it's not going to look the same way, and it's going to look more like the KTM in the '80s where they were kind of janky. If it sells off in pieces, they're going to sell off Gas. They're going to sell off Husqvarna. They've already dumped MV Agusta. It's going to get ugly. But yeah, it is what it is. So
Yeah, it's not just one brand.
no, it's the whole Pierre group.
That's a big thing.
Uli, man, I've been wanting to talk to you for a while. Thank you for coming on. Where can people find you?
Oh, they can find me on Instagram, YuliMX921, or on Facebook, Yuli Stalker. Definitely.
Okay. And anything else you want to get off your chest before I let you go?
Don't do drugs, kids, and like keep racing. Keep racing and put all your effort in. Yes, that's all what I want to say.
Yeah, don't
Yeah,
do
put the
drugs
effort
and be
in.
very, very careful with your money and make sure it's not fake.
Exactly. And guys, like don't don't just like keep riding like or doing your thing like what you keep doing all over and over again. Like don't be like be stuck in your not stuck in your bubble, you know, like see some other places as well. Like our sport is pretty cool, like and other places are cool as well. Like and you will see like you will race as well, like as a rider, and because you get more experience from all this stuff, like from traveling as well. So you can give it to the next generation also. Yes, because with trainings classes or whatsoever, you know.
Yeah, next time you go to China, we need to do an interview from China while you're there and show everybody what's going on there. I think it'd
We
be
can do
pretty
that
cool.
definitely, Chris.
And I think they would be stoked on the publicity. I just think it's kind of cool to show it worldwide. So you'll be our Chinese correspondent, Uli.
Definitely, I will do that for you, Chris. Definitely.